Welcome back, Comic Ventures, or welcome back, Comic Ventures, I guess. Thank you guys so much for all of your kindness in the comments and in the messages. I didn't go anywhere. I am very much okay and having fun with life. I just, I've been living life. I still love doing this, and this is very much a passion project of mine. But kind of like a workout routine, being a content creator takes repetition. And once you fell out of that repetition, you can find it hard to go back in. And I made that mistake because I promised myself earlier this year that I wanted to get back into playing video games, and I found a few games that I got addicted to, and what I didn't account for is all the productivity that would wipe away if I get into enjoying life a little too much. So that being said, I find it super appropriate to come back and do a video kind of based on what I've been wasting my time with, which is video games. And I felt it appropriate to go over 5 of my favorite video game based comics that I've ever read. If you are new here, if this is your first video, or if one of your first, I invite you to like and subscribe because we have still been going around and doing nerdy things, including going to visit the largest comic book shop in the world in Colorado. So if you don't want to miss that, or if you just like me and my content in general, please subscribe. You don't want to miss anything I do upload, and I promise the near future. By the way, I know that I've worn this shirt before in a video, but would you guys look at the back of the shirt, man? Straight fire, like, it's my favorite nerdy shirt right now. Alright guys, so here are my top 5 personal picks for comic books based on video games. And remember, when I'm going through this list, this is specifically comic books based on original video game characters or stories, not vice versa. Also, if I missed something that you feel deserves to be on the list, or if you have a really good recommendation, leave a comment below. I gotta tell you guys, I have not read like many comic books based on video games, but this is a list that's based off of what I have read, and I think it's pretty good. So here we go. Starting us off at number 5, you have Metal Gear Solid, and this comic book is based off of the first 2 games, which I played forever ago, so I don't remember what happens, but I do remember that the artwork is really good and the story is really good. The comic is literally a play-by-play of the first 2 games. So if you've played the first 2 games, if you remember that story, the comic literally is a play-by-play. So don't expect any like alternate storylines. Don't expect any like hidden like story beats. Just expect the play-by-play, and you'll be very satisfied. You'll also be really satisfied by the artwork by Amber Wood. So yeah, Metal Gear. Alright guys, at number 4 we have Dragon Age, and I specifically have only read the Greg Rucka stories, and I think it was called like Mage Killer, and I just remember that artwork and that story being really good. I've actually not played Dragon Age quite that much, but I have played it before. That's also a really good game. I also recommend it. But yeah, if you haven't read that book, it's really good. Of course, it's fantastical. It's like beasts and dragons and all kinds of fun like that. If you're into mythical stuff like that, it's definitely a comic book that you want to give a shot. Especially if you like the game. And Greg Rucka has been a great writer since like forever. So, alright guys, at number 3, we have a franchise that has a lot of heat right now, which is The Witcher. So, Henry Cavill, of course, is playing Geralt the White Wolf in the Netflix series, and that series is awesome. It's one of my girl's favorite like things to watch on Netflix, and she's really excited about season 2. I have read the comic book. It's also really good artwork. I like The Witcher. I haven't gotten into the games that much, but the comic, some of the book that I've read, and the show is really good. I still do have to play The Witcher 3. I know that I'm really missing out. You guys do not have to tell me in the comments. I'm gonna get to it. And so, yeah, but The Witcher comic book is really great story, really great artwork. Geralt is amazing. The writing is good. It seems true to character from what I have read and seen of Geralt, and I definitely give it a shot. Recommend it. All right, at number 2, we have just titled God of War. So there's a comic book that is based off of the 2018 reboot of God of War that is just called God of War. If I remember right, it's a prequel comic to that story, and it is really good. Kratos is like one of my favorite video game characters of all time. I think that like when Kratos first came out, he was just kind of like this barbaric, just rage machine. But as the games went on, there's a lot of layers that were like uncovered. And the 2018 game really like, man, like Kratos in that game has such a complexity, and this comic kind of goes in that direction. Kratos has some depth that he's trying to handle. Like in the first issue, he's trying to like kind of keep his rage covered, and I think that's really interesting. So yeah, God of War, check it out. At number 1, this is the same franchise as number 2, but a different book. So this is God of War Fallen God. So Fallen God is a new comic book series that just came out this year in 2021, and it also stars Kratos. However, it is the younger version of Kratos after God of War 3. So this is still the version of Kratos that has just, conquered Olympus and has done all that stuff that he does in the old like PS2 games. So this is still the non-bearded version of Kratos when we start the book, where he is kind of trying to run away from his past, with Olympus and Ares and everything that he has kind of conquered over in the first God of War games from like the PlayStation 2 and 3. And this is actually kind of cool because this book is in between the last Greek mythology God of War game and the only Norse God of War game, which is really cool. I personally do like the newer stuff more, like the bearded older Kratos and like Atreus. Like that game is just so dope. But of course, I was a huge fan growing up of those first 3 God of War games on the PS2 and the one on the PS3, and even like the Chains of Olympus game. If you guys played that one on PSP. Side note, I'm going off on a tangent about video games. But back to the book. So the book is really good. It actually is, I think it's still ongoing. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I read the first 2 issues so far, and it's literally so great. Guys, look forward to the next video. I am going to be publishing some more comic related content this week and next week. It's going to be a lot of fun. And we are going to be still traveling and showing you guys what we do anywhere we go that's comic book related, and I'm super excited for that. So guys, stay subscribed, make sure you like the video. I'll see you on the next one. Thanks guys.